welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
I'm Kyle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing better now that I'm in the air conditioning because I feel like I was sweating like all day long. Very sweaty in the pool area, the indoor pool area.
Yeah.
But it's been a good day though, out in the sun a lot, which was nice.
Yeah, you're down training today. We're going to get
Yes.
into that. Also, I want to thank More Philly Union
hmm
for the podcast on Tuesday. Great interview. If you have not listened to it yet, go back and watch their mid-season recap. Great to have them all on. Make sure to follow and subscribe to their podcast and website on YouTube and wherever you can find them. But we wanted to kind of sit back and talk a little bit about you two. As you know, yeah, Jillian's showing her t-shirts that she bought at the store on Saturday.
hmm
Well, actually, I bought it.
Yeah.
But having said that, like we want to talk about some things because there's been a lot coming on.
Yes, there has been. And so have things to about from training today. We are going to talk about Union 2. So if you follow Union 2, you'll probably like this. And if you haven't really been following Union 2, this will be good for you to maybe get up to speed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things going on there. Not only Union 2, but the Academy as
Yeah,
well.
a lot going on.
But anyway, I would also want to thank everybody. Again, we keep seeing the rise in subscribers. We got
Mhm.
some more people on our podcast subscribing, more people on the website subscribing. Thank you, everybody. We do this for free, and we really truly appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it won't be just Union 2. We are going to talk about the upcoming match against
Yeah,
Charlotte. So it's a very Charlotte weekend coming up. We have Union playing Charlotte on Saturday, and then Union 2 are playing Crown Legacy on Sunday. So both are at home.
and then
So
my 46th birthday on Monday.
you getting old,
I am getting old,
and
but
I am
anyway,
younger than you. It always makes me feel better.
yeah. But anyway, before we get started, what we're wearing today.
I am wearing my brand new Union 2 t-shirt that was purchased in the team store. And with the season ticket member discount, it was $31, just for the record. It does have, it's on the front is the logo, but on the back, actually just under the collar, there is like it says like Philadelphia Union 2 on there. So there's a little thing on the back, but hey, it's a start. If they could sell the kits, that would be cool, but it's a start. I
It
mean,
is a start,
yeah.
and you've been barking down that as along a lot of other of us have been barking down that.
hmm
Um,
But yeah,
I'm wearing the Rick Martel Arrogance because hey, look, in this match day, you're still number one.
that shirt reminds me of one that I, it
This reminds
reminds
me
me of
of the,
1980s Miami or something.
this also reminds me of new Inter Miami kit, which
Which,
maybe
okay, can I be honest? I kind of like it. Like I like the colors, okay?
it's
And they're clearly having pictures at the Hall of Fame pool there, I think.
oh, they totally
Which, yeah,
1000% are.
which
Like
like
I was
the
talking to
aesthetic of it
Bobby.
looks pretty cool.
I
I'm
was
gonna
talking to
be
Bobby
honest.
today about that. Like, that's the whole thing pool.
Yeah, we know that because we've been there. I've swam in that pool.
I've sat in that pool many
Yeah,
times,
same.
competed in that pool. So it's kind of a throwback to this.
Mhm. My nails match.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But again, it's Inter Miami, so
Yeah, it's like it kills me because I like the color scheme and pink and black are like my favorite colors and my favorite color combination. And I also like that blue. So that kind of kills me to say that.
but you see what Dallas did. They did the old burn jersey.
Hmm.
They were like throwing that back today. So
Waiting for Union to have a third kit.
I
Because how
would
many kits is Miami gonna get right now?
okay.
Whatever.
And,
Anyway, let's get on with it. But yeah, no, I like that's a fun shirt. It reminds me of a shirt that I had like circa 1989,
right.
when I was real little and my parents took me to Disney. Um, and I remember getting something that was just really reminds me of that. That's like a memory unlocked. Anyway, so um yeah, if you aren't already following us, make sure you subscribe. You can find us, first of all, wherever you get your podcasts, and also we're on YouTube as well. But you can follow us on our social media handles. We are on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook. We are at TOTWAG on Twitter and Blue Sky. We are at The One Team We Agree on Instagram and Facebook, and check out our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com, as we post articles there. I should have an article coming out very soon. Probably by the time you listen to this, hopefully it'll be out. And you can also follow us individually on our socials. Mine aren't all the same, which it would be easier if they were, but I'm at silly_Jilly on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm on Facebook, but that's more for like my friends that I know in person. But also I'm on TikTok, and I am, well, yeah, that's pretty much it where I mostly am. And you are at Coach Almany at all of the above.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have a match preview article out probably on Saturday, and then hopefully I'm in the press box. We got some articles, match recap, match preview.
We'll both be down on Sunday for
Yeah,
Union 2.
so we'll see. We got some things coming out, so stay tuned to the website. But anyway, um, again, we're gonna recap some things. So first and foremost, just a couple notes.
Mhm.
Before we talk about the win last, what was it, Tuesday?
Yeah, it was Tuesday of last week.
Yeah,
So a little over a week ago.
Against FC Cincinnati 2.
Mhm.
On Monday, Union announced the signing of Malik ja
Jakupovic.
Thank you, Malik Jakupovic. Um, it's something you and I have heard rumors about. We've seen the guy in training.
Like 6'3". He's 15, almost 16.
Probably one of the best up and coming strikers since Neil Pierre.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot there, and you're seeing what Neil's doing. He's leaving.
Well, Neil's not a striker, but he's a defender. Yeah.
I mean, Nelson. I'm sorry.
Nelson, yeah.
Yeah.
Nelson.
Nelson's now leading MLS Next Pro.
Nelson's crushing it.
Yeah, and that's great to see as well. And then also, Ryan commented about Ramsey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Ramsey Kawasmi, he decided basically to move on. The Union 2 and him decided to mutually part ways, just
It sounds like it's
like it was just time.
It was time.
He wanted to do, yeah, he wanted to move on to other things, and we respect that. So,
yeah, I mean, Ryan just said
great things to say about him. Yeah,
yeah, and you're going to talk about that. You've talked about that in your article.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, there's not much in there with that. I mean, I've seen him in training. He's trained. He's done everything. He's still going to be involved with swag.
Swag. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and for those who don't know what the swag is, I know we've mentioned it before. That is a no-cost soccer program for the local youth. Ryan Richter is part of that. Dara Griffin, who is Jordan's mom, she's a part of that.
Yep.
And so it's a really great program. And yeah, so it's the swag.org. You can find out more information about them.
But anyway, Union win 4-1 in Northern Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
Goals from A. Davis, Marcus Anderson, Giovanni Sequeira, and Malik.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan picks up his first MLS Next Pro assist.
Yep.
Marcus Anderson had 2 assists and Sequeira had 1. Union jumped out early 2-0. We know about 2-0 leads. Then FC Cincinnati 2 kind of bounced back. Carson Locker scored a goal in the 51st minute to make it 2-1. Then Sequeira and Jakupovic finished off the match. The win marks Union 2's first win over FC Cincinnati since August 2022, which you love to see.
Yeah, it was a long time coming because they were a thorn in Union 2's side last year, because now you recall in 2024, Cincinnati, they were at the top of the East. They won the East, but then they got bounced in the first round of the playoff by like the 8th.
Yeah, by Crown Legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Crown Legacy took Union to PK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, anyway, let's we got some clips. This is going to be a clip heavy episode. Heavy episode.
Yes.
So we're going to share some thoughts from Ryan. All right.
No, look, it was a good performance. I thought that we were very organized, especially in the first half. they had a really tough time breaking us down. We were on the front foot for much of the half, I thought. And I thought the group was committed to playing as a team. And I felt that more in this game than any game in the season so far. And I thought there were a lot of great individual performances that came on the back of that. So I was proud of the guys. A lot of great individual performances, not to single anyone out just yet, but proud of how everyone approached the game as a team and then were able to execute and then show what they're capable of individually.
So I want to talk about that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So he talked about that again today with you at training. Like he
Yes.
thought that was their best match this season.
Right. That was the form that you knew they were capable of. Now, I think
Have we seen that before? We saw that against Atlanta. But there have been matches this year where we've seen that.
yeah, and I think sometimes it comes down to, all right, who was there, first of all, because they do have players coming and going at times. There's different like national team duties or players being with the first team, this and that. So, but they were missing a few of their regulars there as well. So it was really great to see them step up. But I think, and when you look at that, and then you look at Saturday against Atlas, I think a big part of that was Marcus and Eddie, for sure. Like they have a good chemistry and they stepped it up. However, like it was really a good team win. Like they were all clicking, they were firing on all cylinders. Like they were playing cohesively as a team. Like everything was just really connecting.
I mean, no disrespect to Sheridan.
Right.
I mean, I think he misread the play.
Mm-hmm.
I think he would tell you the same thing. And if not, I'll see. We see Mike enough and we know he friend of the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
That maybe it's a bad beat. Like things happen in
Yeah.
soccer,
But
right?
overall, like Mike's been really
Mike
solid with
looked
yeah.
great on the night. Overall, with that one play where he
Yeah.
gave it that goal to Locker, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, my gosh, that was the worst play ever. I saw somebody say it on social media. I'm like, it is. But at the same time, like, it's a learning moment. You bounce back, and
Mm-hmm.
the Union did bounce back. And to the point, Jakubovic scores that goal.
Yeah. Makes that debut big moment for him coming on that a lot of people were waiting for.
Yeah. And here's what Ryan thought about that.
And with Malik getting his first goal in his first Union 2 appearance, can you talk about his goal and what you think about the shift he put in?
Yeah, I would say in his goal, let's not forget the incredibly unselfish play that Marcus makes to slide this ball across instead of taking it himself. And even the pass before that with Gio, he can do something different and take it selfish. But so I was happy for Malik that he got his goal. That's a great story to score on your debut. And he deserved the minutes that he got, from how he's worked in training with Union 2, how he's performed in the academy games, and obviously the club is committed to him, and we're committed to his development. So it's a great start to what we hope is a long and successful run, and many more steps along the way. But it's a great first step, at least with Union 2, and really proud of him, the way he approached the game, the way he conducted himself as a professional. These are all learning opportunities. He's 15 years old. So it's not we're very happy for him and hope he can continue, building week by week, getting better and better the way that he's done over the past couple months.
And that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
It's continuing to grow and develop.
Right, exactly.
We see this with our swimmers
for
every
sure.
week. Like, yeah, they're gonna have a good week, they're gonna have a bad week. It's part of the development process. And people listening there, coaches, soccer, baseball, whatever. There's gonna be good weeks, but like Ryan hit it on that. He's 15.
He is. Just like we're kind of like with Kevin, like let's temper our expectations a little bit, and there's still a lot of growth and development to happen there. But it's exciting that they are performing the way they are at that age, but makes you excited about the future if they keep developing the right way. And I also liked that Ryan mentioned about Marcus there, because what a week for Marcus. Let's just say what a week for Marcus.
For sure, but I really love the fact that he talked about the unselfish play.
Yes.
Because if you watch that sequence building up, like Gioco's tried to get a brace, Marcus could try to get 4 contributing goals, scoring opportunities on that,
Mhm.
2 goals, 2 assists. Probably will win player of the match day. But the unselfishness after what that debacle against Inter Miami 2,
Mhm.
where there was a lot of selfish moments.
Mhm.
There's some selfish moments the second half against the Nor'easters.
Yeah.
On the night, there was no unselfish moments, and
Even
that's
there were no selfish moments.
yes. I'm sorry. Yes,
Yeah.
there were. Yeah.
No, I agree 100%.
And that's what you want to see.
They're learning. They're learning from the mistakes. They seem to be buying in to what Ryan's, teaching them there and everything. And that's the thing what people have to remember too, is like this is still very developmental. Marlon always preached that as well. Like development, development, development.
Marlon always preached.
Yeah.
Don't care about the wins, care about the
And
growth.
sidebar, congrats to Marlon, by the way.
Yeah, we'll
U18s.
get
We'll get into
so-
that. But man, we'll touch on that later. But I'll tell you what, I thought this was such a good win for them to finally beat FC Cincinnati too. On the road was fantastic. But yeah, I thought Marcus had a great game. And then he goes on to play really well and get the goal against Atlas. And then, we'll talk about it in a bit, but then even, he's brought up with Bradley he might get a chance with first team this weekend. Who knows? So just really big week for him. And, you know, it's great to see. But yeah, he had 2 assists and he had a goal. So, but yeah, great start to Malik. I know Ryan mentioned later in that press conference that Malik's parents were there too. His
Yeah.
family was there because they live like 4 hours away from where the game was. So that's awesome that they were there to see that too. So what a cool story for him.
Yeah. Union 2 now in 7th place currently in the East. But when you look at the points per match, currently they're with 2 points per match, third highest in MLS Next Pro.
Mhm.
Outside Red Bulls 2, who just hired Michael Bradley, which I got thoughts, but that's another episode. And also behind Chattanooga. So anyway,
I think there's place in the standings. It's not very, you
when
can't
you
put too much
look at
stock in it
from
because they have like a whole bunch of games in hand.
yeah, when you look at it from the outside, they're like, my gosh, what are Union 2 doing? And there have been some games where we're like, what are they doing?
Like the Miami one.
And there's a couple other ones early on in the season.
Yeah, but they're really progressing, and like I said, their standings don't really show the true story.
I know a couple like American Ultra. Anyway,
Yeah.
some Twitter posts that out there that like to maybe call for certain coaches like saying, what are we doing here? All I'm gonna say is give it time, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of season left. Union 2 have a bunch of games in June and July. It's gonna pick up. So if they keep performing the way they just did, then look out.
Also, I'd like to have America Ultra on the podcast because he seems to be very in tune with the second team.
All right, well, you heard it there.
There you go.
All right. And
shot call.
yeah, and as far as like defense goes too, I thought defensive performance in that Cincinnati game.
I mean, he praised Oscar.
Yeah.
He praised Raphael Uzcategui. They both have been so good. The floor came off. I asked him, but then he played against Atlas, so
yeah,
obviously
it's like he picked up a little knock, but he was okay, and so.
So do you want to take the second part? Let's do some recap here because hey, look. All things aside, Union 2 off to a good start. We're happy. I would like to talk to some of these people like American Ultras, like MLS Next Pro News that follow Union 2 as much as we do and other podcasts that do that. I honestly am not calling anybody out here. I just want to know, like, if you follow the second team as much as we do, come on the podcast. I'd love to have some MLS.
Or at least leave us some comments.
Like, let's talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, let's recap
Let's look at Union players on international call-ups because there were a lot of them. And so uh first of all, looking at the academy and second team, we had Jameer Johnson. He's currently an amateur academy player. He scored a brace for the U17s. He was caught up with the U17s along with Cabin. And Cabin had a goal as well. So U17s did pretty well, but what a time for Jameer. And I did talk to Ryan about that today as well. Do you have that one clipped up?
I did not.
Well, it'll be in my article that's going to be coming out. But Ryan definitely was very happy with how Jameer's been doing. So good for him. Now with the U17s, you had Kevin and Jameer. With the U18s, now there weren't any Union 2 players on there or Union players. I feel like Neil Pierre probably would have got a call up if he wasn't injured. But former Union 2 coach Marlon LeBlanc was the head coach once again for them, and they were in Switzerland. And he led the U18s to victory in the UEFA Friendship Cup. So just outstanding. You got to love seeing that. And that included wins over France, Argentina, Australia, and then over Portugal. So just fantastic. You love to see it. Marlon's an incredible coach. And hopefully this keeps leading to big things for him.
Remember when we had Marlon on the podcast, he said,
and if you guys haven't seen that pod or listened to it, go do it.
Yeah, he wanted to be inspired.
Mm-hmm.
He's now beaten some heavyweights.
Yes.
In the international world.
Yeah.
If I'm USA Soccer, I'm sitting down with Marlon. You can still go watch Kellen.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit there every weekend and watch him for you too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you got to do an international window here and there and maybe go to Chicago. But USA Soccer needs to do something here. I love Vince's post, and this is not a USA Soccer podcast, but like USA Soccer has the crazy thing to do: hire Jim Curtin, hire Marlon LeBlanc, and hire BJ Callahan.
Yeah.
Could you imagine lead that back to winning the World
USA
Cup?
Soccer, just saying, Jim Curtin's out there and Marlon is no, but in all seriousness, getting
back to my points, here's a guy that can develop.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard things that have said, look, hey, they love Marlon there.
Mm-hmm.
USA Soccer enjoys Marlon. If he's inspired to do this, this makes sense. Let him go back, develop, and then maybe in another 3-4 years, he wants to make that jump, whether it be the national team, whether it be MLS, whether it be USL, whether it be international. Marlon's a good coach.
Yeah. So yeah.
I hope he finds ground within the National Federation.
Yeah, so hopefully continued success. That's just fantastic. Union had a big showing for the U19s.
Yes.
So we had David Vasquez. He came on as a substitute and scored the equalizer against Ukraine, also helping the U19 secure a draw. CJ Olney and Sal Levis both started that match. CJ didn't play the first match. He was a little sick apparently.
Yep.
So and also Andrew Rick, he was in goal that first game.
Yep.
So they all had a role there. So 4 guys from Union were with the U19s, which is fantastic. But yeah, especially David had a big game there. So and then you have the U20s. You had Frankie Westfield playing a key role in the U20s. Hard-fought win against Colombia in Cairo. So he was out in Egypt. And I saw he posted he was out at the pyramids of Giza and everything, on a camel. Fantastic. What an experience, for sure. Just to see him get to go experience that, is I'm so happy for him getting to do that. But
yeah, no,
all these guys getting to go experience the the U17s, they were in Spain, the U19s were in Spain. Just, they're getting these awesome experiences. And I talked to them and I talked to Ryan about this and
we'll get into that.
we'll get into that. But back to the U19 or the U20s, and also former Union Academy player Marco Zambrano netted the match winner in that. So again, more Union influence.
Yeah, and I want to get on this. We can talk about the national team, the good, the bad. We're not going to get into
the butt kicking of the senior team.
Yeah. I mean, Jack McGlynn had a goal.
Oh, what a goal by Jack McGlynn. Like, that was a golazo.
We had, 5, 6 former Union connections.
Yeah, lots of Union connections. The starting lineup for the, ill-fated match against Switzerland. But
it's experience. And that's what I'm going to say. But going back to what you said about Frankie, I mean, we're so, like I said in the last podcast, you called it from day one. I was a little hesitant, even though I saw the potential. That's me being a college coach, former college coach, and just being like, hey, we'll see what happens. But at the same time, you're really lucky to have Frankie. We hope this lasts, but hey, the way he's balling out right now,
it's just been fun to watch.
It's like, enjoy the time you have with the kids.
Same with someone like Quinn,
Yeah, enjoy it.
Seriously.
And when he gets sold, I don't want to hear anybody saying, well, I don't want to tell anybody how to feel, but I don't want to hear, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Look, if he balls out and you get $5 million for Frankie.
Let's look at the Aaronsons, okay?
Yeah.
When Brendan Aaronson was sold, that was a big deal. I mean, he was.
And when these guys get sold, it's gonna be.
And when Paxton got that was big, and that was an offer they really couldn't refuse. So, and how cool was that seeing Brendan and Paxton both starting the match, even though that match turned out to be not great.
Yeah,
but both of them in there, and you had Quinn and you had Nate in there. Okay. And then you also had
Mark McKenzie.
You had Mark McKenzie in that. Not to mention
and Brian White.
And Brian White. And then also in the squad, of course, you have Jack McGlynn. He didn't play. You had Matt Freese in that as well. He didn't play that match, but just all the Union influences, it's incredible. And as much as we would love to see some of these players stay with Union, forever, it's just not the reality. It's not always going to happen. But you also want to see these guys go on and do great things and further their careers too. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to remember the person involved in this too. We can be selfish and want them with the Union forever, but also some of these guys just, they want to achieve their dreams and
So let's hear from Bradley about this international window.
Yes.
Experience. They have a lot of experienced guys on their team. They have some real weapons
I'm sorry.
I would say
that's not the clip.
Nope. Did I get this one right? Nope. Okay. I did miss this one. I'm sorry.
Okay. Right. Well, I did talk to CJ Olney today.
Yeah.
And you got that clip. It's kind of loading at the moment. But yeah, I talked to CJ Olney. He just got back. I think they all kind of arrived back yesterday. But yeah, so they're tired. They're coming back. But
we need to get a new. I think it's time to get a new podcast.
News haven't come yet with the first team this year in terms of playing time. Just how do you keep yourself motivated?
Same thing as the year before and the year before that, just knowing who I am and why I'm here and just trusting the process and working as hard as I can with the second team and training with the first team to do as best I can to earn an opportunity.
All right. Well, news haven't come yet with the first.
Yeah. So, yeah, CJ's one that, had he been around for the Atlas game, I bet he would have gotten in probably. But he's only made the one appearance last year with the Union, and otherwise he's been with Union too. But he's one that I would love to see get a chance, because I always said last year he was the most MLS ready. I always thought that CJ and Frankie were.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, what?
Kyle, what are you doing there?
Nothing. I'm trying to get the.
But yeah, so I would love to see CJ get a chance. He had a great experience there. I'm gonna have all the interview on my article, so you guys can go check that out. And when you get a chance, once I have it out.
Yeah, and then
I have to talk to Andrew Rick.
Yeah, but I kind of want to talk about this clip from, let's see, this one. Yeah. Well, so I want to talk about this one real quick here. You talked to Ryan about the national team call-ups.
Yes.
And I just want to share this clip. And sorry, guys, if you're listening. We're just trying. We have a lot of clips tonight.
I text back and forth with random people during especially the senior team game the other day, where it was, I think, 5 guys that were recently with academy guys in the union. So that was pretty cool to see. Obviously, the result was a rough game, but it says a lot to what Richie Graham, Tommy Wilson, Ian Monroe, what these guys built over the last 15 years, to see it coming through in pretty much every age group, and now really with the senior team. Like, that's cool. That's what the project is supposed to be, and I think it's one that I hope everyone that enters the academy or Union 2 first team, they understand the where this club has pushed players to, and that the resources are here for them each to take that step as well, and that's the dream for all of them. So to see it on the field, and it's a reality, that's really cool, and a special moment for a lot of people, a lot of coaches that work with these guys and hopefully had a positive influence on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I asked about what's this say about the strength of the academy. I mean, Ryan coached with the academy before he was up with the Union and then Union 2. So it really does say a lot.
It does. And then Bradley also said was his favorite catchphrase when he's excited. It's massive.
Yes.
How I see all the contributions. So,
and I have that clip on Twitter if you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah. So anyway, overall, we can talk about Danley, we can talk about Andre. They all said,
yep,
good windows.
Yeah, Danley scored, right? I believe he did.
Anyway, you were down training today. What was your thoughts?
Yeah. So, well, first I was at Union 2 training. I was watching them, and they had they're definitely missing some guys because some of them are at like the U18s. They're at the MLS Next Cup in Nashville. So guys like Malik and I believe Jameer and Jordan Kellen, those guys. They're at the MLS Next Cup. So. Yeah, Union 2 will be missing a couple of those guys over the weekend, but good luck to the academy guys, of course. That's big for them. And so then I had a good conversation with Ryan. And then the first team training, a lot those guys that are signed to the first team, but a lot of times play with Union 2. They were all training with the first team. And it was great to see. Like, Neil looked good. Neil's back from his knee injury. He was looking good. Looked like he was feeling well. I mean, he played against Atlas, and I thought he looked pretty decent there. Also looked like, he's getting back in the groove of things for sure. But the goal that was given up wasn't, great. But really, I thought it was kind of, what? Not now. It was. Yeah, it was good to see this guys. Rafa looked fine. I know he had gotten taken out during the Atlas match and had to be kind of helped off the field a bit, supported a little bit, but he looked like he was okay. And just the vibes were good. Everyone's just getting loose. And Andrew Rick came out pretty early on. He only just got back not that long ago, but he trained. And then some of the other guys were just doing regen as well. But Frankie was out there, and Kevin, and all those guys. But anyway, vibes seemed good. And I had a good interview with CJ Olney and with Andrew Rick. Are you going to play any of those clips?
Let's play some Rick clips here real quick.
You guys can all expect him to obviously be in goal with Charlotte. Because Andre is going to send me away.
Let's play his first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's always an honor to get called to my national team, A goal of mine is obviously to represent them, whether it's in the World Cup or just a normal camp. But so it's an honor.
Yeah, just takeaways from the trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to be in new environments and experience players from different backgrounds and different clubs all over the world, and to get to learn from them and take stuff back with me and build those relationships is always important. You know, you never know where you're going to be. I might end up playing with these guys one day, so to build that relationship now and learn from them is something that is very beneficial to me, and I'm grateful for.
All right, and then here's the next clip.
Any cultural experiences or non-soccer things you will take part of?
No, I mean, I like the walkable cities. You know, Philly's a walkable city, but there's some parts where it might not be walkable. So you know, just being able to walk around and see different countries is always super cool in my opinion.
Great. And then since the last time we spoke, you've had multiple appearances with the first team, faced some of the best players in the world. You know, how do you feel you've grown these last few months?
Yeah, I mean, everything's a growing opportunity and a learning process. You know, I try and stay as centered as I can because you never know what was around the corner. So every time I step on the field, I'm grateful that I get the opportunity to step on and play for myself and represent my family and everyone. But yeah, there's been a lot of growing moments. We've been in good form, so my goal is always to keep that going and one game at a time.
And I appreciate that. One game at a time, always growing, always learning. The one thing I will say about Andrew Rick this year, he has grown and developed so much.
Yes.
From talking with him with Jonathan Tamwald last year, we was just happy to be there.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, here is a professional athlete. And this is why we do what we do with the second team.
Yeah. I mean, we talked to him last year and then
stories.
Both. Yeah.
And that's a great thing. And I say to everybody, like, well, why you cover second team? It's because of the stories, the development,
Yeah.
This is what we're passionate about. But anyway, great to hear from Andrew. You talked to Bradley today in the press conference. Talk about that.
Yeah. So I did ask him about the guys that got the youth national team call-ups and really, what his takeaways were from that were. And he just said
it was massive.
It was massive that it's massive. Yeah, but no, he mentioned about what an honor it is to for those guys to represent their country, but also to they get the first team experience with the union, but then they go and they get to be role models as well with these younger age groups too, and but also learn from these players that come from different backgrounds, different systems, and all that, different experiences. So. And just also that they get to go experience these other places in the world. And so just talking about that, and also it shows just the strength of the Union Academy and everything. So, that was definitely really good to hear. And then I also asked Bradley about Jan and Mikkel and Ty. And so Jan's still coming back from his injury. They said, they're going to get him on a ball soon, but it sounds he's still got a ways to go, and they had been a little more hopeful, but it seems like it's taking a little bit longer now. Also that Ty's in Israel, which if you've seen his Instagram stories, you know that as well. He is he's seeing doctors and stuff over there. And Mikkel, I did see him today. He was out at training a little bit, but he's still coming back. He's almost there, but he's still kind of feeling it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so not feeling 100%. So it sounds like, well, obviously Ty is not going to be there for the Saturday, and it sounds like Mikkel probably not. So expect Bruno and maybe Donovan, or who knows, maybe we get to see Marcus Anderson. Maybe Eddie makes the bench. Who knows?
Maybe Stas
does. Or Sal, or any of these guys. So
anyway,
and he did say all those guys, all the youth national team guys are going to be available that just came back.
And we'll have some more clips and comments on our podcast, but we're about an hour into it, and we wanted to keep this less than an hour.
And lastly, I wanted to also bring up that if you didn't see the clip, but Bradley also was really happy with how Marcus is doing. And it sounds like, they really wanted him to get in a groove with Union too. He was coming back from injuries and things. So, but Bradley sounds like he's really happy with how Marcus has been doing. So maybe we see him get a shot this weekend. We'll see.
We'll see. And anyway, at the end of the day, it's a good time to be a Union fan. I know there's some injuries right now, but hey, look, Union have afforded themselves some good,
Mhm.
space where they can have an off month.
Yeah.
There's a bigger picture. At the end of the day, it's the Open Cup, like we said in the last podcast, or it's the MLS Cup. That's the game plan right now for 2025.
Yeah. And then with Charlotte, you have to remember too. I mean, they're gonna be missing some guys too.
Reem,
Tim
Ajimian.
Ajuman won't be there. So like they'll be missing some people too. Maybe not as many as Junior, but hey, you know what? Next man up.
Next man up, you get 3 points, you're feeling good. Then they have a week off.
Yeah, which Bradley mentioned about.
Like,
Yeah,
just
he
let him go out, enjoy time with family, which is important.
Yes.
And then regroup because you got Nashville, Columbus, Chicago.
You know who won't be off? Union too.
Yeah,
they have a game next Saturday.
But anyway,
yes.
Look, we'll see you out there in Chester on Saturday and Sunday. If you see us, say hi.
Yeah.
We thank you for listening, but this has been an all-new episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, so make sure to like and subscribe and leave us comments. We love hearing from you. And before we sign off too, at the Atlas, before the Atlas match, they were giving away some things at Union Yards. And I want to talk about, we got the Club World Cup coming up.
Yeah, and I'll be covering it.
Yeah. So, but they were giving away some stuff, the Club World Cup people. So there's a little rally towel that has Club World Cup on it, which is cool. And they had like koozies and stuff too, but they're giving out t-shirts, and I thought this was pretty cool. It has Philadelphia, so it's FIFA, June 14th, July 13th. And on the back, it has all the dates.
So I will be covering the following matches. I'll be covering Flamengo versus
on your
Chelsea.
birthday.
Actually, that's on our anniversary.
No, I'm saying Flamengo's on your birthday.
No, Flamengo versus Chelsea's on our birthday.
On our anniversary, but on your birthday.
I'm not covering that
one.
And then we're also covering Juventus versus Wydad, and then I'm also covering the Salzburg versus Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if I get approved.
Yeah, so that's cool. And I thought that was cool. They were giving out those free t-shirts.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll
Yep. So stay tuned for that journey, because it's all leads
new territory for you, Kyle.
Yep, it's all leads into 2026. So hopefully we get approved for the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
We get to go down and cover that as well. But
yes, for now we are actually signing off. And
until next time, I'm Kyle.
I'm Jillian.
And we'll see you at the game.